Well, if it ain't my little son, Sammy Vella. Sammy Vella, you're a dutiful and affectionate little boy, ain't you? Come to visit his father in his old age.
Well, now, I've got a problem, Mr. Vella, and I need your help. 2 hot punches, innkeeper. Just open them ears, Yawn, and don't say nothing till I've done.
Sammy Vella, what can the matter be?
The matter, Mr. Vella, is that my employer, Mr. Pickwick, has been thrown into the debtor's prison.
A bankrupt, eh, Sammy? You're well rid of him?
Now then, Mr. Vella, Mr. Pickwick is a rich man and an upright and honourable gent, if ever there was one.
Then I don't understand, Sammy. What's he doing in the debtor's prison?
Well, Mr. Vella, I'll begin at the beginning, as the man said.
Well, Sammy?
Well, Mr. Pickwick retired from business some time ago and, finding himself at a loose end, formed a club of like-minded gents with the purpose of discovering things.
What sort of things, Sammy?
Mr. Pickwick calls it the furtherance of knowledge.
Oh, dear me, Sammy Vell, them's big birds.
Anyway, Mr. Pickwick and 3 of his friends took it into their heads to travel about the land, discovering things, which they said they'd write up in a book. They agreed to meet at the Golden Cross Coaching Inn here in London to start their journey.
Day 1, May 12th. Tell me, driver, how old is your horse? 42. What? Yes, sir, he's 42. And how long do you keep him out at a time? 2 or 3 weeks. Weeks? He only lives a few miles from here when he's home, but we seldom take him home on account of his weakness. Because of his weakness? He always falls down when he's took out of the cab. We strap him in very tight so he can't fall. We got large wheels, so when he does move, they run after him and he must go on. He can't help it. But this is almost impossible to believe. You are writing all this down, sir? Indeed I am, driver. I find it most interesting. I don't take money from police informers. I done nothing wrong, and I'll find you to prove it. You are mad, or drunk, or both. Come on, all 4 of you. What does seem to be the problem? What did you want my cab number for? I didn't want your number. You did. You wrote down everything. My dear sir, I assure you... This man is a police informer. He wrote down my number and every word of my silly tale. I'll give it to him. I don't care if I get 6 months for it.
Someone fetch an officer!
Winkle, teach this ruffian a lesson. Show him something of the noble art.
Disgraceful behavior. You will pay for this. Come on, put 'em up. What's the fun? Informers. We are not informers.
Oh, you ain't, eh? Well, come along, then. Drive up, take your fare, take yourself off. None of your nonsense. This way, sir. All a mistake. Never mind. Accidents will happen. Never say die. Some bad luck. Driver, a rascal. We go to the other side of the inn.
Please accept our thanks for your assistance. We are...
Enough said, sir. Enough said.
The Commodore leaving for Rochester in 5 minutes.
Commodore, my coach. Place booked.
Why, sir, we too are travelling to Rochester today. We shall sit together and become better acquainted. Your name, sir?
Alfred Jingle, sir.
My name is Pickwick. My friends Tupman, Snodgrass, and Winkle. Our luggage is arranged for, Mr. Jingle. Have you arranged a place for yours?
Just this brown paper parcel, that's all. Other luggage gone by water. Packing cases nailed up. Big as houses. Heavy, dashed heavy. Up you go, gentlemen. Heads, heads, take care of your heads. Coachyard, terrible place, dangerous work. Other day, mother, 5 children, a tall lady eating sandwiches, forgot the arch. Crash, knock. Children look round, mother's head off. Sandwich in her hand, no mouth to put it in. Head of family off. Shocking, shocking.
Extraordinary.
You a philosopher, sir?
A philosopher, no. But I am an observer of human nature.
And so am I, sir. Most people are when they've got little to do and less to get. Poets, sir.
My friend Snodgrass has a strong poetic turn.
So have I. Epic poem, 10,000 lines, composed it on the spot. A sportsman, sir?
A little, sir.
Ah, yes, cricket, hunting. Master of a fine pack of hounds once. 16 foxes in a single day. Ah, my friends, rooms to your satisfaction? A glass of ale, gentlemen, just time before dinner.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
Rochester Inn, noted for its fine dinners and soft beds.
Mr. Jingle, we would be honored if you would join us for dinner.
Great pleasure, gentlemen.
Have you been in Spain?
Lived there, ages.
Many conquests, sir?
Conquests, thousands. Ah, Donna Christina, only daughter of Duke, loved me to distraction. Father disapproved. High-spirited daughter, handsome Englishman, disapproved. She took poison, had stomach pump. Duke overjoyed, consented to our union. Many tears, romantic story.
Is the lady in England now, sir?
Dead, sir, dead. Never recovered from the stomach pump.
Will you allow me to note down that little romance?
Certainly, sir, certainly. 50 more if you'd like to hear them. Curious history I have.
It seems so indeed. Now, gentlemen, I have an announcement. An invitation from my friend Wardle, who resides not far from here. He insists that my friends and I spend a few days at Manor Farm, Dingley, Dell. He will send his servant Joe with a carriage at our convenience.
I'm sure we should be delighted to accept his kind offer.
No, yes. Top-ho.
1 or 2 things to do tomorrow. Arrive later. Own steam.
Exciting prospect, gentlemen. Until tomorrow.
Good night, Pickwick. Good night. Good night.
Mr. Tupman, sir,
Yes, Joe.
I've come to take you and your friends to Dingley Dell. I've room for free.
Oh, dear. We are 4.
Perhaps one of the gentlemen would care to ride a saddle horse. They have very good horses here.
What an opportunity, Winkle. Mr. Winkle is a keen horseman.
Well, sir, there's many a hedge and ditch between here and Dingley Dell. Their horses are all excellent steeplechasers. Cross-country, that is.
The suggestion is indeed intriguing, but I fear I must forego that pleasure. My place is with my fellow travelers.
Nonsense, Winkle. You've often talked about your equestrian prowess.
Does this animal shy?
Shy? This fellow wouldn't shy if he were to meet a wagon full of monkeys with their tails burnt off.
Right, I shall mount directly.
All right, Winkle.
Of course.
Well, then, we shall be off.
Get up, fellow. Come on.
What makes him go backwards?
I can't imagine.
Useless boy. I shall drive. Winkle, where are you? Joe has dropped his whip.
Whoa! Whoa!
Would you pick up that whip for me, Winkle?
Yes, good fellow. What am I to do? He won't cooperate.
I will assist.
Oh, bless my soul. Oh, this is terrible. Carriage ran into a ditch, and we were thrown out.
Yes, an unfortunate business. Well, there are many miles to walk, gentlemen. Pray, let us begin.
Gentlemen, thank goodness. Your baggage arrived some time ago. I was about to mount a search for you. You are all right, I trust?
Oh, quite, Wardle. Merely hot, dusty, and exhausted.
Capital. Then welcome to Manor Farm. I dare say a hot tub wouldn't go amiss.
Indeed, it would not. But
Oh, forgive me. Allow me to present my dear sister Rachel and my daughter Emily.
And these are my friends, Mrs. Pickwick, Snodgrass, and Winkle.
Welcome, gentlemen. We've so looked forward to meeting you.
Charmed, I'm sure.
What do you do?
Our sincere thanks, madame. You are indeed kind.
Enough of formalities, gentlemen. Come in. Any friend of Tupman is welcome in my house.
I have taken the liberty of inviting a recent acquaintance, a Mr. Jingle, who we are, and I'm sure I speak for all of us, proud to call our friend. He will arrive shortly.
Delighted. The more the merrier. I thought we might have a shot at the rooks tomorrow. Should suit you down to the ground, eh, Winkle? Tupman has told me about your skill in the field.
Well, sir, to be truthful.
I admire your modesty, sir. Nevertheless, I intend to give you a run for your money. These wretched birds are getting out of hand. Time we showed them what's what. Ever tasted rook pie, Mr. Pickwick? A magnificent dish, sir.
Dinner is served, sir, and Mr. Jingle has arrived.
Oh, thank you, Banks. Keen appetites, I trust. I admire a man with a hearty appetite. Oh, come, gentlemen. The ladies await us.
Oh, yes, cricket, hunting. Extreme caution, don't worry, my love.
An excellent dinner, Mr. Wardle. That boiled mutton was superb.
Oh, top hole.
Capital.
Oh, glad you enjoyed it, gentlemen.
Rather.
Mr. Jingle and Rachel seem to have found a subject of mutual interest, though Mr. Jingle seems to be the expert.
Jingle is truly an extraordinary man, with seemingly inexhaustible adventures to relate.
I fear it grows late, gentlemen. Let us not forget we have a shoot tomorrow.
Winkle and Jingle are really the only marksmen among us, but I should like to join the party as an observer.
Marksman? Well,
Yes,
Oh,
capital
Jolly
idea.
good. Well, that's settled, gentlemen. But now let us to bed. I'm sure we'll all sleep soundly. Wake up, Joe. Time to go to sleep.
good night. Good night.
Good night, gentlemen. Wake up, Joe. Boy.
Where's Jingle?
I'm afraid he has a stomach upset. Pity. I'm sure he would have enjoyed himself.
A pity indeed, though after hearing how he polished off 4 Bengal tigers with only 3 shots, I fear rooks would have been child's play. Incredible man.
We call that little area the rookery. And you can hear why.
Indeed. Interesting sound.
Joe, off you go, and listen for my signal. And please, Joe, stay awake.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir.
What is he doing?
When I give him a signal, he'll start yelling and hitting the trunk of the tree with a stick to scare the rooks out. Shall I take first crack at them, Winkle?
If you please.
Right, Joe! There they are! Oh, I thought I bagged one. Oh, never mind. Mr. Winkle will supply us with the ingredients for tonight's feast. Ready, Winkle?
I think so.
All right, Joe. Joe! Joe! Oh, the only time I can be sure that wretched boy will be awake is at meal times. He's gone to sleep again. Depend on it.
No matter, Mr. Wardle. I'll replace him. Glad to.
Oh, thank you, Tupman. Off you go. Try another tree.
Shoebird!
Oh, now, Mr. Winkle, fire when ready.
It didn't go off.
I think you overlooked the priming, Mr. Winkle.
Stupid of me. What? All the excitement.
What is happening? Shall I chase them again?
Yes! Ready, Tupman!
Shoebird! Up you go!
Did I hit it? Did I?
Help! Murder! Someone shot Mr. Tupman!
Goodness gracious! Come on, gentlemen!
You've hit him in the arm, and you didn't do us that much good either.
Am I dead? I must be dead.
Oh, fortunately, just a scratch. We shall return to the house immediately, and Rachel will attend to your wound.
Rachel? A wound? Oh, indeed, I am not dead. Kindest of ladies, most romantic prospect. Where is my hat? My hat. My best hat! What have you done to my hat, Winkle? How can I face Miss Rachel? I am disgraced, sir!
Tupman, old friend, I shall make good your hat and coat. Thank heavens you're alive. I really cannot understand it, Mr. Wardle. In all my experience, this has never happened before.
So I should imagine, Mr. Winkle.
May I suggest we repair to the house with all expediency? Must see to that arm of yours, Tupman.
Ah, the romance of it all. Gallant gentlemen cut down in the midst of rooks. Excellent subject for an epic poem. Perhaps one to rival that of the great Jingle. Emily, fetch Rachel quickly. Mr. Tupman has met with an accident.
Father, I've not seen Rachel nor Mr. Jingle since shortly after you left. Rachel's traveling trunk and much of her clothing is missing from her room, and the groom tells me your best gig is gone. I think...
What? Mr. Jingle is supposed to be resting with an upset stomach. Why, that scoundrel, she is twice his age. That fraud! She must have told him of her inheritance. I'll not have my sister made to look a fool. I'll be the laughing stock of the county. Emily, take care of Mr. Tupman.
Calm yourself, Mr. Wardle. Why, this is impossible. I cannot believe it.
Gentlemen, it seems you have not been careful enough in the selection of this man as your friend. He said he was a poet. I lent him 10 guineas. I've been swindled. Well, what's to be done? I'll tell you what's to be done. Joe, wake up.
Huh?
Harness Comet. If he hasn't taken him too, I'll be after them.
Allow me to accompany you. I feel responsible, and my legal experience would be an advantage.
I shall come too, Wardle.
I'm not blaming either of you. You're both good fellows, and I should welcome your company. We shall catch this imposter.
Cook said she heard them mention London this morning.
London, eh? Our only lead, then, is the Rochester Inn. They must have passed it, and someone there is sure to have seen them. Ready, Tupman? Pickwick?
Yes, deplorable business.
Let's be off.
I think we were wrong. Jingle must have taken another route.
We should inquire here, then try a few more inns on this road.
That fellow over there looks like the boots of this establishment. I'll question him. One moment, my man.
Name's Sam Bella, sir.
Now, my good man, what we want to know is, who have you staying in this house at present?
Who there is in this house? Well, there's a wooden leg in number 6, a pair of Wellington boots in number 2.
Nothing more?
Well, our latest arrivals were a pair of black boots, a good deal worn, and a pair of ladies' shoes.
What sort of shoes?
Country make.
Any maker's name?
Brown.
It is them. By heavens, we've found them.
The black boots have just returned from the city and are now with the shoes in number 5.
Show us the room, and this is yours.
You're a nice rascal, aren't you?
My dear sir, calm yourself. Consider defamation of character, action for damages. Calm yourself, sir.
How dare you drag my sister from my house?
Sir,
Why the devil are you meddling in this, Tubman? This is none of your business.
There, my dear sir, you are quite mistaken. I had many years' experience in the bar, and I take great pleasure in representing my friend, Mr. Wardle. Be careful how you speak, sir.
You scoundrel! I'll ruin you!
Ha!
You, Rachel, at a time of life when you ought to know better. What do you mean by running away with a vagabond, disgracing your family? Get your bonnet. We are leaving.
Do nothing of the kind. Leave the room, sir. No business here. Lady free to act as she pleases. More than 1 and 20.
More than 1 and 20? More than 1 and 40?
I am not.
You are. You're 50 if you're an hour.
Cad, sir, cad.
A glass of water for the poor woman.
A glass of water? Bring a bucket and throw it over her. She deserves it.
Rachel, I think a rest in the other room do you good. I'll call the Boots. Boots!
Sir?
Boots, get me an officer.
A moment, Boots. We are in an awkward position. A distressing case, but we have no power to control the lady's actions. I feel we must look for a compromise.
What sort of compromise?
A financial one.
Yes, I can see. I can't have my sister being made a fool of.
Mr. Jingle, could I have a private word with you?
A quick one, yes.
Now, sir, you and I are men of the world. My two friends are not. We both know very well that you have run off with this lady for the sake of her money.
Why?
Now, men of the world, sir, don't frown. We understand each other. Very good, very good. Now, the fact is that beyond a few hundred, the lady has little or nothing until the death of her mother. A fine old lady.
Old lady?
Why, yes, she is rather old, but she comes from a family where, since the time Julius Caesar invaded Britain, only one member hasn't lived to 85, and he was beheaded by Henry VIII. The lady in question is not yet 73.
Well?
Well, you are a fine young man of the world, able to push a fortune if only you had some capital, eh?
Well?
Don't you think, sir, I put it to you, don't you think that £50 and liberty would be better than Miss Wardle and expectation?
Won't do, not half enough.
Well, my dear sir, we won't waste time splitting straws, say 70.
Won't do.
Right then, sir. Come, and this instant I will write you a cheque for £80.
Man of honor can't be bought.
Well, my dear sir, just tell me what will do.
Expensive business, money out of pocket, license, compensation, breach of honor, loss of the lady, £120.
Yes, my dear sir, never mind the last two items. Let's say an even 100.
120.
Yes, of course, 120. Let us rejoin the others. Mr. Wardle, Mr. Jingle will accept
120.
Yes, of course, £120 to forget his great love for your sister.
Pay the scoundrel and then throw him out.
Bye-bye, Pickwick. Must be off. Here, take license. Get the name altered, take the lady home, do for Snodgrass.
No use running after him, sir.
Yes, Boots, you're right. But if I ever meet that terrible man again, why...
Calm yourself, Pickwick. We're rid of him now, and for his sake, let us hope our paths never cross again. And much obliged to you, Tupman, old friend.
Here, sir.
Gentlemen, I suggest we spend the night here and return to Dingley Dell in the morning. I think we would all benefit from a good night's sleep before the journey.
Sensible idea.
Sam, possible to arrange...
Yes, sir. Rooms and food at once.
That man should be more than just a Boots. Now, if you will both excuse me, I'll see to my foolish sister.
But, gentlemen, if you will excuse me, I shall retire, as I'm much fatigued.
Good night, Tupman. Well done.
Good night.
Pickwick, I've been thinking about your position. You're not getting any younger, you know.
Mr. Wardle, I am a retired businessman. Money is no problem. What do you mean by my position?
Well, you need a manservant.
A manservant? What a novel idea. Well, I confess it has never occurred to me. I do believe you are right. Capital. The problem is to find the right sort of person.
I think I can recommend a good man for the job.
I would welcome your suggestion. Pray, whom do you have in mind?
Why, Sam, of course. Sam the Boots. As a matter of fact, I've taken the liberty of asking him to come and speak to us. What do you think, Pickwick? Ah, here he is now. Come in. Ah, Sam, come in. Mr. Pickwick wants to speak to you about something.
Now, Sam, with regard to the matter on which Mr. Wardle, with the concurrence of myself, sent for you.
The point, sir. Out with it, as the father said to the child when he swallowed a shilling.
I want to know in the first place whether you have reason to be discontented with your present situation.
Before I answer that here question, gentlemen, I should like to know, in the first place, whether you're going to provide me with a better...
Why, I've half made up my mind to engage you myself.
Have you, though?
Yes.
What, your own private boots?
No. I want a manservant to attend upon me and travel with me on my journeys of investigation.
Well, well. Wages?
I think, £1 a month. £12 a year.
Clothes?
2 suits.
Then I'm let to a single gentleman, and the terms is agreed upon.
Excellent, Pickwick. You have done yourself a service.
I believe I have. Sam, tomorrow I travel to Dingley, Dell. In a week, I return to my lodgings in London. Before your arrival, I must inform my landlady, Mrs. Bardell, a kind and thoughtful widow, who no doubt will be pleased by this decision. You, I'm sure, will have to serve out your time here. I suggest we meet in London in a week's time.
A very fine plan, sir.
My own manservant, eh?
Excuse me, Pickwick. I must talk to Rachel again. Try to coax her out of her room. Won't even leave her bed.
Poor woman. My own manservant, eh? Mrs. Bardell.
Yes, sir?
Your little boy is taking a great length of time on the errand upon which I sent him.
Well, it's a good long way from here.
Ah, very true. So it is. Mrs. Bardell.
Yes, sir?
Do you think it is a much greater expense to keep 2 people than to keep 1?
Ah, Mr. Pickwick, what a question.
Well, but do you?
Well, that depends a good deal upon the person, Mr. Pickwick, and whether it's a careful and saving person.
That's very true. But the person I have in my eye, I think, possesses all these qualities and has, moreover, a considerable knowledge of the world and a great deal of sharpness. This, Mrs. Bardell, may be of material use to me.
Now, Mr. Pickwick?
Indeed. To tell you the truth, Mrs. Bardell, I have made up my mind.
Dear me, sir.
You'll think it very strange now that I never consulted you about this matter till I sent your little boy out this morning.
To get him out of the way. How thoughtful, how considerate.
Well, what do you think?
Oh, Mr. Pickwick, you're very kind, sir.
It will save you a great deal of trouble, won't it?
Oh, I never thought anything of the trouble, sir. And, of course, I should take more trouble to please you then than ever. But it's so kind of you, Mr. Pickwick, to have so much consideration for my loneliness.
Ah, to be sure, I never thought of that. When I am in town, you will always have somebody to sit with you. To be sure, so you will.
I'm sure I ought to be a very happy woman.
And your little boy?
Bless his little heart.
He, too, will have a companion, a lively one.
Oh, you dear. Oh, you good, kind little dear. I'll never leave you, dear, kind, good soul.
Oh, mercy upon me. I hear somebody coming up the stairs. Don't. There's a good woman.
I think I'm going to faint. This is too much. Oh!
It's hot in here, Mr. Pickwick, as the man said when he fell into the fire.
What have you done to my mother? Whoa!
Sam, take this little villain away.
Oh, let me go! Let me go! Oh,
You stay here, my boy. She'll be all right. What's the problem, sir?
Let me go! Let me go!
Sam, you'd better help me lead this woman downstairs.
Oh, I'm better now. My boy will help me down the stairs.
I cannot conceive what is the matter with that woman. One would think I had proposed marriage instead of merely announcing the acquisition of a manservant. Ah, Sam, I shall never understand women. Anyway, you've arrived.
Yes, sir, Mr. Pickwick, and ready to work.
Then, to work, Sam. Tomorrow, we journey to Eatanswill. I've arranged to meet my companions here at the Peacock Inn. You'd better secure us rooms, Sam.
Right away, sir.
Very good.
Oh, very good indeed, very good indeed. True story, gentlemen.
It's a wonderful story. Yes, indeed.
Persons awaiting.
Does this person want me, Sam?
He wants you particular, and no one else will do.
Then I shall be pleased to see him.
Very good, sir.
Mr. Pickwick, I presume?
The same.
Allow me the honor of grasping your hand. Permit me, sir, to shake it.
Certainly.
We have heard of your fame, sir. The noise of your antiquarian discussions has reached the ears of Mrs. Leo Hunter, my wife.
I am flattered, sir, that you and your wife know of my work. I should be extremely happy to make her acquaintance, sir.
You shall make it, sir. Tonight, we shall be holding an evening for a small number of celebrated persons. Permit Mrs. Leo Hunter, sir, to have the gratification of entertaining you and your friends.
A pleasure.
Are you interested in poetry?
Oh, I am.
So is Mrs. Hunter, sir. She dotes on poetry. She adores it. I may say that her whole soul and mind are wound up, entwined in it. I imagine you are familiar with her poem, Ode to an Expiring Frog.
I'm afraid not.
You astonish me, sir. It created an immense sensation. But I waste your time. I know its value. I shall be off tonight at 6 o'clock.
I look forward to it. Unusual fellow.
Mr. Pickwick, ma'am.
What? Where?
Here?
Is it possible that I have the gratification of beholding Mr. Pickwick himself?
No other, ma'am. Permit me to introduce my friends. Mr. Tupman, Mr. Snodgrass, and Mr. Winkle.
Delighted to meet you, gentlemen. I do hope you enjoy yourselves tonight.
Mr. Fitzmarshall.
Dear Mr. Fitzmarshall, come here directly and be scolded for arriving late. Naughty man.
Coming, dear lady, quick as I can. Hordes of people, full room, hard work, very. Mrs. Hunter.
Mr. Pickwick, please come and meet Mr. Fitzmarshall.
Hello, Pickwick.
Jingle! You scoundrel!
You know Mr. Pickwick?
Oh, indeed I do. Quite forgot. No directions for cab driver. Give him at once. Back in a moment.
Scoundrel? I don't understand. Mr. Fitzmarshall is a brilliant financier. Mr. Hunter and I were receiving his advice on a small business venture.
His name, ma'am, is Alfred Jingle, and he is a fraud, an imposter, the cause of much mischief. But I doubt you'll see him again now that he's been exposed.
I think we should give chase.
Give chase?
Come, Winkle, after him.
Oh, I am so grateful. I had no idea.
Oh, my goodness, what was that?
Oh, my arm! My arm!
Oh, my head, my head.
I think I'll need the help of some volunteers to get these gentlemen back to the inn.
We had his measure. would have stopped him but for our unfortunate collision. But if we see him again, eh, Snodgrass?
A gallant effort, gentlemen, nevertheless. I'm sure Mr. Jingle will think twice before he commits another misdeed.
We should let our wounded comrades rest. What do you say to a hot punch before dinner?
Why not? I'd also like a word with the innkeeper. Innkeeper?
Yes, sir?
A word, if you please.
Certainly, sir.
I wonder if you know of any places about here with historical interest or surrounded by legend. We are engaged in antiquarian research.
Well, gentlemen, Tom Smart's the name. I have a story you'll both find interesting. It took place right here in this inn.
Why then, Mr. Smart, won't you join us for a hot punch and tell us your story?
Very civil of you, gents. Lucy, 3 hot punches. My story tells of the time I had the honor of beating the devil at his own game.
The devil, Mr. Smart?
The very same. Years ago, I were a traveller, selling pots and pans. One dreadful night I stayed here, raining cats and dogs it was. I ordered hot punch, which was served to me by the landlady herself, and I knew at once she was the girl for me. My only rival was a tall, sinister gentleman with black, wavy hair and whiskers. It was obvious he had some hold over her. His evil appearance put me in mind of the devil himself. I fancied that I could even smell the sulphur of the netherworld. I decided to get some sleep, try to forget my dream of becoming the landlady's husband. I went up to bed. But try as I might, I couldn't sleep. The couple downstairs had got the better of me. It was then I noticed a strange high-backed chair, an odd piece indeed. I couldn't take my eyes from it. As I watched, a most extraordinary change came over it. And it winked at me. Why are you winking at me?
Because I want to, Tom Smart.
How do you know my name?
I know everything about you, everything. You're a poor man, Tom.
I certainly am. But how come you to know that?
Never mind that. Listen, the landlady is a fine woman, eh?
She is indeed.
I am her guardian, Tom.
You?
I knew her mother and her grandmother. She was very fond of me. I've been a great favorite among the women in my time, but that's not the point. I want you to marry the landlady.
Me, sir?
You.
No, there's somebody else in the wind, a tall man with black whiskers.
Oh, yes, I know all about that. They're due to be married tomorrow.
What?
Now listen, Tom. I'm almost certain you are the man to save her and me.
Save you?
The moment he marries her, he will sell the inn and all the furnishings and disappear. She will be deserted and left to ruin. And I will catch my death of cold in some broker's shop.
What can I do?
You can prove that you are worthy of taking that rascal's place. A test which you must pass to prove you are the one.
What is this test?
Listen carefully. At the stroke of midnight, you will begin climbing to the highest spot in Eatanswill, the very point of the church steeple.
Then what happens?
You will discover that when and if you reach that point.
Heaven help me! Nothing here. I've been dreaming. Chair that turns into an old man. My God, how many punches did I drink? I think I must be mad. Oh, I wasn't dreaming. Now, I must get down safely with this packet. Can't open it here.
Good morning, sir. What will you take for breakfast?
Who is that gentleman in the bar, ma'am?
His name is Jenkins, sir.
My dear ma'am, will you have the kindness to sit down for one moment?
Oh, sir,
You deserve a very excellent husband, my dear ma'am.
I am much obliged to you for your good opinion, for I am to be married this very day.
Married, eh? The dark gent's not the man for you.
Oh, if you have some grievance against him, why don't you tell him instead of upsetting a poor, weak woman?
I'll say it to him fast enough, only I wanted you to hear it first.
What is it?
You won't scream?
No, sir. Please let me see that piece of paper.
You won't go fainting away?
No, sir.
Yes, ma'am. A letter from his wife, begging him to return home to her and their 6 small children.
You devil!
Outsmarted me, eh, Tom? Outsmarted the devil himself.
I may tell you, gents, the landlady and I were married soon after, and if she weren't visiting her mother in Luton, you could meet her yourselves.
And the chair?
To this day, has never spoken another word.
An incredible story, Mr. Smart. May I write it down? Wardle will enjoy that one, eh, Tupman? Thank you, sir.
That's jolly good.
That was a wonderful story.
Oh, Pickwick.
By Jove, Mr. Wardle, I can scarcely move. A truly memorable Christmas dinner. A delicious meal.
Yes, it was rather good, wasn't it? What we need now is a bit of exercise.
Good idea.
Well, what do you say to a turn on the ice? You skate, of course, don't you, Winkle?
Yes, of course, but I'm rather out of practice, and also I have no skates.
Oh, I have skates for all.
Now then, sir, off with you and show 'em how it's done.
Stop, Sam, stop. How slippery it is, Sam.
Not an uncommon thing upon the ice, sir.
These are very awkward skates, aren't they, Sam?
I'm afraid there's an awkward gentleman in 'em, sir.
Come along, Winkle. Yes, I'm coming.
Now, sir, start off.
Well, I'm sure I'll have the idea of it.
Sam, come over here, will you?
Let go, Mr. Winkle, the governor's calling.
Father, are you all right?
Yes, my dear, just a little sore.
Take Mr. Winkle's skates off, Sam.
But I've scarcely begun.
Take them off, Sam, and help him stand. You are an imposter, sir.
But, Mr. Pickwick...
Come and have a slide, Pickwick.
A slide? Oh, I haven't done such a thing in 30 years.
Oh, great fun, Pickwick. Try it.
Oh, very well.
Hang on tight, Pickwick.
Off I go!
He's fallen into the freezing water!
Somebody do something! Heaven's mercy!
He's not coming up. The icy water will kill him, or what shall we do?
Sam, give me a hand, quick. Lie down, Sam, and try to pull him out. I'll make sure you don't fall in yourself.
I may be of some assistance, gentlemen. Oh, Something's grabbed my arm. It's pulling me in. Help! Save me! Help!
I think he's found himself a Pickwick. Hold on to him, Mr. Winkle. We'll pull you out.
It's terrible. Somebody do something! Oh, mercy!
Winkle, you saved my life. Forgive me, my friend. You are a hero.
Oh, a hero indeed. He'll catch his death of cold. Put a shawl round him, Sam. Make sure he keeps moving and get him back to the house as quickly as you can. Perhaps we should take your mind away from today's nasty experience. A Christmas story, perhaps.
Nothing to do with sliding, I hope.
Oh, no, of course not. But I think you may find the story of Gabriel Grub and the goblins diverting.
Goblins, eh? Delighted to hear it.
Well, it must be 50 or so years ago now. Gabriel Grub was a bell ringer and grave digger at the parish church, as it so happens. It was late in the afternoon, and already the sky was darkening. Well, Gabriel had just arrived at the gate to the graveyard beside his church.
'Tis the season to be jolly, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Oh, why did you do that? It's Christmas.
Merry Christmas indeed, little songbird. Brave lodgings for one. Brave lodgings for one. A few feet of cold earth when life is done. A stone at the head, a stone at the feet, a rich juicy meal for the worms to eat. Rank grass overhead, damp play around. Brave lodgings for one. These in holy ground. Coffin at Christmas. A Christmas box. Must have been the echo.
It was not. It was not the echoes. What do you do here on Christmas Eve?
I came to dig a grave, sir.
What man wanders among graves and churchyards on such a night as this? Gabriel Grub! Gabriel Grub!
Where did those voices come from?
What have you got in that bottle?
Gin, sir.
Who drinks gin alone in a churchyard on a night such as this? Gabriel Grub! Gabriel Grub! And who, then, is our fair and lawful prize? Gabriel Grub! Gabriel Grub! Well, Gabriel, what do you say?
I think I'll go back and finish my work.
Work? What work?
The grave, sir. Making the grave.
Oh, the grave. Who makes a grave and takes pleasure in it when all other men are merry? Gabriel Grub! Gabriel Grub! I'm afraid my friends want you, Gabriel.
I don't think they can, sir. They don't don't even know me, sir. I don't think the gentlemen have ever seen me before, sir.
Oh, yes, they have. We know the man with the sulky face and the grim scowl that came down the street tonight and struck that little boy because the boy could be merry and he could not.
An unfortunate accident, sir. I'm afraid I must leave you, sir.
You are coming with us, Gabriel. Gabriel Grub! Gabriel Grub!
No! Please, don't take me, no!
It is cold tonight, Gabriel. A glass of something warm for you?
Thank you, sir. I'm not in the habit of taking anything warm at night, sir, but I thank you for the offer.
Not in the habit. Drink, Gabriel. Drink.
But, sir...
And now, show the man of misery and gloom a few of the pictures from our own great storehouse. Watch closely, Gabriel. You may see and hear things that will be of some interest to you.
Let the dead bury the dead, eh, Gabriel? No tears shed on either side. Open the coffin, Gabriel. We are burying a man today whom nobody loved, least of all himself. Give us a hand, Gabriel, to get this poor soul into the earth.
But that's me. That's me in there. But I'm here.
Even the roses lose their joy in the company of such a miserable person as Gabriel Grub.
Here, Gabriel Grub. This will bring some warmth back to your wretched limbs. Well, Gabriel, you've seen what can happen to a miserable man. You have your choice. Watch this.
Gabriel Grub.
Wonderful man.
Warm never a crossword.
He gave me a silver sixpence at Christmas.
Yes, such a nice man.
What did happen to Gabriel Grub?
He became a changed man overnight. He gave up his gin and gradually became a respected and well-loved member of the community.
Ah, there's more in heaven and earth, Wardle, as the poet says. Why,
Yes, come in.
A gentleman to see Mr. Pickwick. Bailiff, he said he was.
bailiff? To see me? Whatever for? Show him in, Sam, if you please.
Yes, sir. This is the gentleman, sir.
You are Samuel Pickwick?
I am.
Then, sir, it is my duty to serve notice for you to appear in Her Majesty's Court of Petty Sessions on this day, 3 months hence, to face the charge of a breach of promise.
Breach of promise? Are you sure you have the right man? One must have to promise something before one can be charged for breaching that promise.
The lady who is charging breach of promise is a widowed landlady from London, the name of Dell.
Mrs. Dell? Goodness gracious.
And mind you attend, sir. Mark my words. It will be much the worse for you if you don't.
Your Honor, never in the...
Order! Another outburst like that and I shall clear the court! Please, continue.
Your Honor, never in the whole course of my professional experience, never from the very first moment I applied myself to the study and practice of the law, have I approached a case with feelings of such deep emotion, or with such a heavy sense of responsibility imposed upon me. A sense of responsibility that I could never have supported were I not buoyed up and sustained by a conviction so strong that it amounts to positive certainty that the cause of truth and justice, or, in other words, the cause of my much injured and most oppressed client, Mrs. Dell, must prevail.
Your Honor, really, I think that...
Mr. Pickwick, please sit down. Any objections you may have are overruled. Please, continue, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Damages, gentlemen of the jury, heavy damages, are the only punishment which you can visit upon this being who stands erect on 2 legs and bears all the outward semblance of a man, but who is, in fact, a monster. Your Honor, I rest my case.
Gentlemen of the jury, in reviewing this case, several things have become obvious. If Mrs. Dell is right, it is then perfectly clear that Mr. Pickwick is wrong. You will now retire to consider the evidence.
The court will be seated.
Gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
Yes, we have, Your Worship.
What is your verdict?
Guilty, Your Worship.
With what damages?
£750, Your Worship.
Mr. Pickwick, the charge against you has been proved, and you are ordered to pay Mrs. Dell the sum of £750.
I shall not, Your Honor. Indeed, I shall pay no damages whatever.
Surely you will pay. You must pay, Mr. Pickwick. Prison is the only alternative.
Order! Order! Mr. Pickwick, you leave me no choice. You have refused to pay the lawful damages, and I am therefore bound to commit you to the debtor's prison until such time as you come to your senses. Mr. Pickwick, it is well within your means to make lawful amends, and I strongly suggest you do so. Debtor's prison is not for one such as you no doubt appreciate.
I will not pay 1 farthing.
Then to prison you go, Mr. Pickwick.
Well, Sam?
Well, sir.
Pretty comfortable now, eh?
Pretty well, sir.
Very well, Sam. Listen to what I'm about to say.
Certainly, sir. Fire away.
I have felt from the first, Sam, that this is not the place to which to bring a young man.
Nor an old neither.
Quite right, Sam. But old men come here through their own heedlessness and innocence. And young men may be brought here by the selfishness of those they serve. It is better for those young men, in every point of view, that they should not remain here. Do you understand me, Sam?
Why, no, Mr. Pickwick. I do not understand, sir.
Try, Sam, try.
Well, sir, I think I see your drift. And if I do see your drift, it's my opinion that you're coming at it a great deal too strong, as the coachman said to the snowstorm when it overtook him.
Independently of my wish that you should not be idling about a place like this for years to come, I feel that for a debtor in the Fleet prison to be attended by his manservant is a monstrous absurdity.
Now, I'll tell you what it is, sir. This here sort of thing won't do at all, so don't let's hear no more about it.
I am serious and resolved, Sam.
You are, sir, eh? Very good, sir. Then so am I.
Sam? Sam, come here at once.
So, Mr. Vella, you can see my problem and what I want to know. Have you an answer for me?
Stuck there himself, poor creature, without nobody to take his part. It can't be done, Sammy Vell, it can't be done.
Of course it can't. I know that before I came.
Why, they'd eat him up alive, Sammy. He goes in rather raw, and he'll come out so exceeding brown, his most familiar friends won't know him. It oughtn't to be, Sammy Vell.
It mustn't be.
Ah, but it is.
Don't know, you've been prophesying away about what'll happen to the governor if he's left alone. Don't you see any way of taking care of Mr. Pickwick?
No, I don't, Sammy.
No way at all?
No way. Unless...
Yes?
I'll tell you what. Maybe you'll trouble me for the loan of £5 and £20.
What good'll that do?
Perhaps I may ask for it back 5 minutes afterwards. Perhaps you may not pay.
You wouldn't think of arresting your own flesh and blood and sending him off to the Fleet prison, would you? You unnatural vagabond.
I know someone who works at the Old Bailey, Sammy. Justice can be done. After another hot punch.
Sam, my good lad. I'm glad you've returned. I had no intention of hurting your feelings this afternoon, my faithful fellow. Put down your hat, Sam, and let me explain my meaning a little more at length.
The fact is, Mr. Pickwick, the fact is, that is now my bed.
What?
Yes, my bed, sir. I'm a prisoner. I was arrested this very afternoon for debt.
You? Arrested for debt?
Yes, sir. Terrible thing.
But, Sam, I'll...
No, sir, it's my debt. I'll fix it up. And when I do, I can leave this terrible place.
Ah, Sam, you are an honorable and proud man.
Hello. That old gentleman has a fine coat. We might borrow it a while. You tell him not to worry about it.
Yeah, be in good hands. Not bad shoes, either.
Oh.
Well, gentlemen, I don't think them clothes is for either of you. Don't suit you. You see, they are clean, and you gentlemen look very dirty to me.
My boy, welcome to the Fleet prison.
Yeah!
Stop, you ruffians! Leave that man alone!
Welcome to Fleet Prison. Thanks, friend. Without your help... Well, if it isn't Mr. Jingle.
Hello, Pickwick. Birds of a feather, eh?
Well,
I never thought I'd be thanking you. But I would have been very sore and sad if you hadn't come along and helped me remove them gentlemen.
No trouble. Fought 50 once, all armed. Was all alone. Another time.
Mr. Jingle?
Queer place, this strange thing. Serves me right.
Mr. Jingle, I should like to speak to you in private. Let us step outside.
Certainly. Can't step far. No danger of overwalking yourself. Grounds charming, romantic, but not extensive.
You've forgotten your coat, Jingle.
Oh, couldn't help it. Must eat. Wants of nature and all that.
What do you mean?
Gone, me dear sir. Last coat. No choice. Lived on a pair of boots whole fortnight. Silk umbrella, ivory handle, 1 week.
You mean to say that you lived for 3 weeks upon a pair of boots and a silk umbrella with an ivory handle?
True, pawnbroker shop.
Oh, yes, I understand you now. I thought for a moment... never mind.
Hard, dashed hard, fever, weak, ill, hungry, no hope.
Come, my poor fellow. We shall see what can be done. This requires some thinking.
Pickwick!
Yes, over here.
Gentlemen to see you. I'm of Tupman.
Hello, Tupman. What do you have there?
Good day, Mr. Pickwick. I have here the papers in Dell versus Pickwick.
I would rather the subject never be mentioned between us.
Well, Mr. Pickwick, I have some news.
Oh, what sort of news, Tupman?
Mrs. Dell is a prisoner within these walls.
Mrs. Dell? For what reason?
Her lawyers, Dodson and Fogg, tricked her, legally of course, into signing a paper saying she was ultimately responsible for their costs. When you declined to pay, they claimed the money from her. She didn't have it, so she's a prisoner.
Serves the dreadful woman right.
My dear sir, the first question I have to ask is whether this woman is to remain here.
How can you ask me? It rests with her lawyers. You know that very well.
Come, Mr. Pickwick, I know nothing of the kind. These men put her here. It is quite obvious to impose pressure upon you to pay the money, which they know you can well afford. As I see it, this matter rests solely, wholly, and entirely with you.
With me?
With you. The costs in this matter are £150. Nothing to you. By paying the costs, you can obtain a full release for both you and Mrs. Dell and discharge from the damages. And further, a voluntary statement under her hand that this whole wretched business was from the first fomented, encouraged, and brought about by Dodson and Fogg, and that she deeply regrets ever having been the instrument of annoyance or injury to you.
Well, Tupman, now I know your news. Is that all you have to say to me?
My dear Mr. Pickwick, I urge you to pay the costs.
Good day, Mr. Tupman.
Mr. Winkle to see you, sir.
Hello, Winkle. Good to see you.
Good day, Mr. Pickwick. Tupman is also here, but something's distracted him. Sam, would you go into the passageway and see what's happened to him?
Very well, Mr. Winkle.
I have here a petition signed by all the members of the Pickwick Club, which without its founder can no longer exist. We implore you to end your obstinacy and pay your debt. Return to society to continue your invaluable work.
I have been in this place only a short time, Winkle, but already I have made some invaluable observations about prison conditions.
And what would they be?
Though unfortunate, I feel this has been a highly educational experience and would warrant a good deal of space in the book we intended publishing. Reform, sir. That's what is required. Our prison system is a disgrace to all right-thinking people.
And you think you can do something about this?
Yes, indeed, but not from this prison.
Sir, you won't believe this, but I just saw the notorious Mr. Jingle. Is he also a prisoner?
Yes, sir. But a new Jingle. Very reformed. Mr. Pickwick has been helping him buy extra food and some extra clothes and has arranged a position for him in the West Indies. When the job is ready, Mr. Pickwick will pay off Mr. Jingle's debts and he'll be off to warmer climes.
Extraordinary. Is there a man alive like Mr. Pickwick?
Very unlikely, sir.
Ah, now you are all here. I have made a decision. I will pay the costs.
Oh.
Very good, Mr. Pickwick. Very good.
Thank you, Sam. I've realized my work is too important for me to stay here any longer. Personal feelings must not stand in the way. The shepherd must rejoin his flock.
Such a relief, sir. Oh, such a relief.
Den of iniquity, O house of debauchery and misery. You shall become a chapter in our book, and the whole world shall know of you.
I say,
The whole world.